What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and today we are checking out the MJX Bugs 5W or the B5W. It is a 5G Wi-Fi FPV 1080p camera, GPS, brushless, altitude hold RC quadcopter ready to fly. So let's take a closer look at this box here. It also says it has point of interest and follow me. I believe that is through the Wi-Fi phone app. You got GPS and you got the maps, independent ESCs, two-way communication, brushless motors, and it is looking just fantastic over here. Let's take a look on the side. Here's the remote control that comes with it, and check it out. You are able to tilt the camera angle remotely, and we got a brand new style of camera with a very nice looking camera lens, 1080p. And take a look in the other side of the box, nice looking diagram of the quadcopter, and that is the remote control that we are given with this quadcopter. So let's go ahead and open up the box and check this baby out. All right, took everything out of the box and laid them out on the table, and the quadcopter is looking just fantastic. Brushless motors, nice landing legs on it, nice big camera, looking just awesome. We'll come back to the quadcopter in a little bit. Let's go over all of the stuff that came out of the box, so let's get them out of the way. We got a bag of goodies. We got the screwdriver, some O-rings, and a prop removal tool here, and we got another bag of goodies containing a full set of extra props. And the props are looking like the Bugs 6 or the Bugs 8 props, very similar to it, the dual bladed props. And here's the charge apparatus. Here's the proprietary connector to charge your battery, and here is the battery. The battery is a 7.4 volt 1800 milliamp 25C battery with a proprietary plug. So you connect the battery into this little device here, which connects to the balance charger. Here's the balance plug, and it becomes a balance plug battery after you put that little apparatus, and you put the micro USB to USB cable, which also comes with it, but I left it at home because I charged up the battery. Anyway, the red light turns on solid when the power is on, and the green light starts to blink once it is charging, and once it's finished charging, the green light will turn off, so you will know when the battery is fully charged. Now this battery here is the same as the Bugs 3 batteries, the same milliamp, same voltage, 7.4, 1800 milliamp 25C that we are accustomed to with the Bugs 3 battery, but it is completely different size. The thickness is different, so this battery will not fit in there, and this comes with the XT30 and this one does not. It's just a proprietary connector. So if you want extra batteries, you're going to have to purchase this battery here, unless you do some kind of a mod to accept some different type of battery. So you just plug in the battery right behind, and once you plug it in, the quadcopter will arm and turn on, because there is no on and off button. And we do have a little locking mechanism in the back of the battery, so you swivel this thing once you put it in, and it locks the battery into place so it does not slide out. So very nice safety feature on it. Let's put this down, put this away, and here we have a Wi-Fi phone clip, a ball and socket that we are accustomed to. Just snap this in here, and on the remote control there's a little rubber grommet. You just take this little thing out and put this little clip in its place, and it locks into place. Kind of cheesy phone clip here, but it does the job. It holds my iPhone 6 Plus, so we are good to go there. I'm just going to leave that in there. Yeah, they could have used a little bit better phone clip on this unit, but they are using the old style phone clip on this. So the battery is here, and we also get a bag of instruction booklet and a quick start guide is what it's looking like. Here's some Bugs sticker, and here is a quick start guide, kind of like the Bugs 3H, and it goes on to show you all of the steps that you require to get this baby in the air, as well as the QR code to download for your Wi-Fi phone app. And the Wi-Fi phone app is called the Bugs Go app, free downloadable app in the App Store. Go and check it out. And a diagram of all of the functions of the remote control, so that is very nice. And here's the user manual, and the user manual will go into a little bit more in depth on the quadcopter, how to go about charging, how to go about tilting the camera. It's a remote tilt adjustable camera with your remote control, and all of the functions again on the remote, as well as the LCD display, and how to go about arming it and troubleshooting it, and how to go about flying it. And it also goes on to show you a little bit about the MJX Go app, and it utilizes the 5G Wi-Fi, so that is nice. And here's a little parts list for the quadcopter in the back. So let's go ahead and put all this stuff on the side. So let's go ahead and take a look at the quadcopter up close a little bit. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at this brand new Bugs 5W. Looking pretty nice. Dual bladed props, motors looking very similar to the Bugs 3 motors. Nice silver color, locking nuts, tightenable with your thumb, but they do give you that little device to unloosen it and tighten it up. Nice looking landing legs jutting out, so you're going to stick that landing. And it's got a big camera on the belly as well. A couple of LED lights looking like eyes. Just a fantastic looking canopy design here. Just awesome, guys. Taking a look around the quadcopter, there's the battery bay in the back, and all you do is slide this baby in and lock it in. It does not have an on and off button, so once you push this in, the quadcopter turns on. Let's take a look at the bottom here. There's a little sticker. I left it on so I can show it to you. It says, please adjust the camera angle by trimmer only. That means they don't want you to manually adjust the angle of the camera forcefully. They want you to use this little rotary dial to tilt adjust the camera. But the highest level it will go on my unit is around 20 degrees angle down, so that is not very desirable for me. However, it does tilt all the way down 90 degrees to go straight down and look on the ground. There's a train passing by, so let me pause right here. All right, so the maximum up tilt of the camera angle is around 20 degrees and is kind of looking down, and that is not very desirable, guys. I like to have my camera angle looking straight ahead so I can get the horizon in the view. I kind of like the horizon, so I just kind of manually pushed it up. I'm never going to go looking straight down anyways, so I'm just going to leave it all the way up. But when you turn on the quadcopter, it will automatically position itself to that 20 angle degree looking down, so you just kind of have to manually push it up, and don't touch this little rotary dial that controls the tilt angle of the camera. So that is one thing. And the camera is removable as well. Just rotate it and just pull it out, and as you can see, there's the connector. You can just unplug that connector and fly this quadcopter without the camera if you want to fly it sporty. But for this demonstration, I'm going to leave the camera on, so just slide it right in and rotate it and it'll lock into place. And this thing has a anti-jello mount, a 3-point anti-jello mount, so hopefully we don't get any jello as well. So very, very nice looking camera, a big camera. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this little sticker now, so put that on the side. And also, this is a standalone camera bird, so you can take photos and videos without the Wi-Fi phone app turned on. It has a micro SD card slot in which I have a 32 gigabyte micro SD card formatted for this occasion, so we are good to go here. So we're going to take some photos and videos directly onto the micro SD card and take some photos and videos with the Wi-Fi phone app as well. So just a fantastic looking quadcopter, guys. Now this thing has a control distance on paper. It says 300 to 500 meters. Now this is a GPS quadcopter, and as we all know, the Bugs 2 has a control distance of 1,000 meters, and I'm wondering why this one only has a control distance of 300 to 500 meters. We will also do a distance test in a later time, but today what I want to really test out is the 1 key to takeoff, 1 key to land, and all of the return to home functionalities, because we are only limited to one battery, and this battery is supposed to give you a flight time of 15-minute max. So we're going to check out some of the functions, but not all of the functions. And we're probably not going to check out all of the functions on the Wi-Fi phone app as well. And we'll do that at a different time as well. Now the camera here is a CMOS 8 megapixel camera, 1080p at 30 frames per second camera. So very, very nice camera. So we're going to take a look at that. Now let's take a look at the remote control. Now these are fake antennas that we, yeah, just a couple of fake antennas. And if you want to do a antenna mod, you can easily take it off and put a pigtail and maximize even more distance of this quadcopter, and which I'll probably end up doing at a later time. Now take a look at the buttons here. This is the 1 key to take off, 1 key to land. Here is the locking and unlocking of the motors, and here is the smart return to home. Push this button and the quadcopter will initiate a return to home, and push it again to stop the return to home process, and you can regain and re-control the quadcopter back. This is a photo and video button. Short press it to take a photo, long press it to take a video. And here's that rotary dial to control the tilt angle of the camera. So that is very, very nice if you want to do that as well. Now here's the GPS button, turn it on and turn it off. Here's the headless mode button, turn it on and turn it off. Power on and off button. Now these two buttons do not have any functions, so we all know that this button here is for mode 1 and mode 2 on some of the other quadcopters, but this one does not have any function, and this one does not have any functions as well. There's a couple of more buttons in the back, the L1 and L2. Now these are nullified as well, so they don't have any functions. And it takes 4 AA batteries, in which I've already put 4 AA batteries in this baby here. Now to arm and disarm with the sticks, both sticks to the bottom and in will arm the quadcopter as well as disarm the quadcopter, and both sticks to the bottom and to the left will calibrate the gyros of this quadcopter. So this quadcopter is a GPS quadcopter, so it has return to home, and there are 3 types of return to home functionalities. One of them is the smart return to home, in which you just press this button and it will return to home and land on the home point that you have recorded. And to record the home point, you will require 7 satellites to lock in, and a green light will indicate that you are locked into more than 7 satellites, and the LCD display will also indicate how many satellites you got locked in as well. So as long as you got 7 satellites locked in, you are able to do all of the GPS functionalities. Now while it's returning to home, you can press that button again, like I said, and regain control of the quadcopter and fly about. There's a second return to home, and that is the fail-safe return to home. It will initiate a fail-safe return to home once the signal is lost, and after 6 seconds it will initiate a return to home and return to home to the home point that you have recorded. You are also able to press the return to home button when the signal is recovered and regain control of the quadcopter as well. Now there's a low voltage return to home, in which there's 2 different phases. The first phase is when there is 2 bars and 3 beeps are sounded, and if you are away 100 meters in altitude and 300 meters in distance, it will initiate a return to home. But if you are within that 100 meters and 300 meters, it will not initiate the return to home. You will have to wait until the second phase, when the battery icon will show just 1 bar and it will start to beep 3 times repeatedly. And if you are away 15 meters and within that 100 meters and 300 meters, it will then initiate a return to home. And if you are within 50 meters at that time, it will just land in its spot. So that is just awesome. And that is what we are going to test out today, guys. The 1 key to take off, 1 key to land, and all of the return to home functionalities. All right, so let's go and check this baby out. All right, we are just about ready to go with the MJX B5W. So let's go ahead and turn this baby on. Turning on the remote and plugging in the battery. Turns on the aircraft. Let's go ahead and lock the battery in place. Now we're going to have to wait until it initializes, at which time the multicolor lights are blinking. And once that has become finalized and it is finished initializing, the lights in the front is yellow, the lights in the back is yellow, and they're blinking. Now it is in the calibration mode. So in order to calibrate the compass, you need to rotate it horizontally until the lights start blinking in green. So let's go ahead and check that out. Horizontal, there you go. The lights are now blinking in green. As you can see, let me show you. It blinks like that, alternately front to back, and it is in green. And at which time it is done the horizontal calibration. So you're going to put the quadcopter with the nose up, and you're going to rotate it until the green blinking lights turn to red in the front and yellow in the back, which it has done right now. Check it out, red in the front and yellow in the back. That is an indicator that the compass has been calibrated. So we're gonna have to sit it down and wait until all of the GPS is acquired, the necessary GPS, which is 7 or more. The front light is red and the rear light is yellow, and once all of the GPS required is acquired, then the rear lights will turn solid green. Now let's take a look at the remote control. The remote control shows that we only have 0 satellite. Now it doesn't indicate whether or not, oh, look at that, it just went up to 12 and jumped up to 16. So it doesn't indicate 1, 2, 3 gradually. It just goes and completes itself. And check out the lights, it is solid green, which is awesome. We are ready to go, fully acquired GPS. Now what we want to do is calibrate the gyros at this time. We're going to go both sticks to the bottom and to the left, and in which time it will calibrate the gyro. So let's do that. There you go, rapid green lights flashing, and there you go, finished calibrating the gyros. Back to the red lights in the front and solid green lights in the back. So we are complete, we are ready to go. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to connect to the 5G Wi-Fi network of the B5W. Going into the settings, and look at that, we are already connected from a previous connection. It memorizes it. Alright, so I got the MJX Bugs app already on the B5W, but there are other quadcopters you can choose from. The app is multi-use, so let's go ahead and hit that go. And we are in the initial screen, and at which time I'm going to go ahead and screen record. Alright, we are screen recording. So hit this green arrow and hit this green arrow again. Those initial pages tell you how and what to do. And here we are in the Wi-Fi FPV section, and we are good to go. Check it out, we got FPV. Awesome, nice. Let's go ahead and take some photos. And to do this, I'm going to go ahead and take some photos with the actual remote control, the hard remote. I have a micro SD card inserted, so it should record it in that. So check it out. One more thing I want to show you guys before I take off. One more thing, look at the camera angle. It is tilting about 20 degrees down. So when you adjust it all the way to the up position, that is as high as it will actually go. Oh, check it out, we got 19 satellites now. I'm going to go ahead and rotate it all the way to the bottom. So it'll rotate all the way to almost 90 degrees. So that is pretty awesome if you want to take videos of the ground while you're flying around. And up tilting all the way, and see, check it out, it stops at about 20 degrees angle. So that's not very desirable, so I'm gonna just manually push it all the way up to horizon view here. All right, so we're gonna fly around with the camera facing straight. So let's go ahead and take some photos with the hard remote. Single press, we'll take a photo, and the remote control will indicate it with a little camera icon. There you go, camera icon blinked. Standalone camera and video. All right, we have taken some photos. Alright, so let's go ahead and attach the phone to the phone clip. And although it's kind of flimsy of a phone clip, once you put the phone on there, it is solid. It holds it very nicely, so that is awesome. Alright, so we are good to go. So what we are going to do is test out 1 kilo takeoff, 1 kilo land. And we're going to we're going to check out the return to home functionalities as well. All right, so let's go ahead and check those things out. What I'm going to do also is to record video. I'm going to hard press or long press the video button. And double beeps, and there is a video icon that appears, and it is blinking on the LCD screen. So we know that it is recording video onto the micro SD card. And I also have screen record. Thank you very much. And on the app itself, as you can see on the right upper hand corner, there is a counter indicating that we are taking a video. So that is just awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and check this baby out. 1 key to take off, 1 key to land. See if it works without being armed. Nope, that does not work. So you're gonna have to arm it first before you hit that 1 key to take off and 1 key to land. So let's go ahead and arm it. There you go, arming, nice. And let's hit that 1 key to take off. We are in GPS mode and we are not in headless mode, okay? There you go. 1 key to take off. And it comes to a hover at this altitude by itself. Oh wow, awesome. Look at how stable she is. And there's a small little breeze happening this way, and she's staying still. Oh yeah, very nice. Let's go ahead and drop her down just a little bit and take her out to the field, right around above the landing pad here. Bring it down a little bit more, and I want to see something here. I want to get it angry. I'm going to pull it. Let's see if she bounces back to that position. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh man. I almost had a drop in altitude. Well, it was a drop in altitude. I almost had a crash happening on my first ever flight. All right, so it goes back to the same position. Let me go ahead and just do it from a shorter distance. There you go. It goes back to the same position. Okay, so don't pull the quadcopter too far away from you. All right, so that is the position hold on this B5W, and it is awesome. Very nice. Oh yeah. Very smooth in controls. Yawing in place. Oh yeah, very nice. Let me do a little demo of its flight back and forth. Okay, we are in GPS mode, and I'm flying it, and I'm making those bank turns. And it is very smooth. It's like I don't have GPS. Let me let go of the sticks. Oh yeah. GPS position lock, and it is just awesome. It just stops in its tracks. No toilet bowl activity here. Push it out. Stop. Oh yeah, very nice. Very nice. All right, so let's check out the 1 key to land. I'm going to go ahead and bring it kind of right around on top of the landing pad here and hit that 1 key to land. Now you are able to direct its path with the pitch and the roll and the yaw while it's coming down. And let's drop it right on top of the landing pad, and there you go, the motor's shut off. All right, so let's go ahead and place it directly in the middle of the landing pad. Nice H. All right, so let's go ahead and test out the RTH, the GPS position, home position. All right, so let's go ahead and arm the motors by both sticks to the bottom and in this time. All right, that works as well. And then you can go ahead and press that 1 key to take off, or you can just manually take off. I'm going to manually take off. And that is a full throttle takeoff. Nice. Holding its GPS position. Just awesome. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and place it right around there. And check it out, guys. Just holding so steady. Awesome. Okay, let's go ahead and check out the smart return to home by pressing this button. Okay, it's rising up in altitude to the desired altitude, and it is on its way back. Now you can press this button at this time and regain control of it and fly about. Okay, but I'm going to go ahead and continue its return to home. So check it out. It is returning to home. It is already at the altitude it was desired, so it just started coming back and it is riding or hovering right above the takeoff spot. All right, it's taking a little time. All right, slowly coming down. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It started to come down rapidly, and it kind of slowed itself down. Oh, and it stopped at that altitude, that original altitude, and it is slowly descending. And check it out. Wow. It is almost right on the money. Look at that, inches away from the takeoff spot. That is super awesome. There you go. That is the smart return to home by depressing that return to home button. Now what we are going to do is we're going to check out the failsafe return to home, in which I will lose signal by turning off the remote control, and let's see if it lands back into the home recorded position. So let's go ahead and arm it, and 1 key to take off. Nice. And that is the altitude. It kind of stopped on its way down as well. So that is something really nice. Nice little behavior. Okay, so let's go ahead and put it right around here. All right, so let's go ahead and simulate the signal loss by turning off the remote control. Turned off the remote control. It should take about 6 seconds to realize that it has no signal, and at which time, and it is rising up in altitude. Nice. It's working fantastic. And it is on its way back. Check it out. Awesome. And looks like it's going to hover. Let me get out of the sunlight. Looks like it's going to hover right around on top of the takeoff spot once again, and take its sweet time. All right, descending. First kind of rapidly, and then it slows down, and it should stop right around here. Yes, it stops right around there. Nice little behavior. It slows down right at that altitude. It's kind of like its home altitude. And check it out. Wow, beautiful. Inches away from the takeoff spot once again. Awesome. Nice. Okay, so we have checked out the smart return to home and failsafe return to home. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn on the transmitter, and at which time it should have automatically connected back to the quad. Let's see. Yeah, we got connection here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do that failsafe return to home one more time, but I'm going to turn on the transmitter and regain control in mid-flight of that return to home. All right, so let's go ahead and check that out. Arming the motors, 1 key to take off, and it will hover right at this home altitude. How awesome. Again, just an awesome GPS. Wow, remarkable. No mistakes so far, only on my part. All right, so it's hovering. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. And once it starts to return to home, I'm going to turn it on, regain control, and press that return to home and take control of the quadcopter once again. All right, turning off the transmitter, 6 seconds, and it should realize it has no connection and it is coming back. I'm going to turn it back on, and it is on its way back. I should have regained connection. Hitting that return to home button, and it stops the return to home. I'm able to fly about, regain control, and that is just awesome. All right, so by depressing the return to home button again, it is not continuing the fail-safe return to home because I've already regained connection. This is going to be just a smart return to home, but let's go ahead and finish that return to home sequence up again just for fun. just for the record. There's another plane flying way up there. Yeah, so there you go. Comes back right above the home recorded position and hangs out there for a little bit. Yeah, nice behavior. Checks the GPS location, and it should start to make its way down. A little bit rapidly at first, and it slows down. Nice behavior. And it should hover at that altitude for a second or two. Awesome. And then come down and finalize its landing. It's going to miss the home point just for a little bit more than the other two flights. But check it out. Very, very nice. Wow, I am so impressed. It works perfectly so far. Everything is just by the books. All right, so I regained control of it. So let's go ahead and just fly about. I'm going to go ahead and fly it without the GPS this time. I'm going to arm the motors, and let me just double make sure that I am recording still yet. I'm recording, and let me double make sure I am screen recording. All right, everything is good to go. And let me make sure the screen is at its brightest. Yeah, it is at its brightest. Let me turn up the volume all the way and check it out one more time. Okay, we passed the window of opportunity to take off. Okay, 1 key to take off. I just love this part where it just hovers very steady at that home altitude. Just awesome. Now let me just test out the headless mode first. All right, so let me go ahead and turn on the headless mode and push it out, and it is in a spin, and I'm bringing it back in a spin and pushing it away in a spin. So the headless mode works fantastic, and that is just awesome. Going to the left while it's spinning and going to the right while it's spinning. Awesome. Headless mode is great for taking videos, panning and whatnot, as well as bringing it home while you have lost orientation, and without the GPS you can still bring it home with the headless mode. I'm going to get out of the headless mode, turn the button off, and now let's fly it without GPS. Turning off the GPS. Now we just have altitude hold now, but look at that. There's no wind at all, so it is almost as if it is holding GPS, but you can tell that it is drifting a little bit. All right, so we are not in GPS mode, but even though you are not in GPS mode, all of the return to home functions work in this mode. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and fly about. Oh man, it's a smooth flyer. Definitely a smooth flyer. I also want to check out its distance, but I have a proprietary battery, so I'm just going to check out the return to home functionalities, the GPS, and we'll do another distance test on this thing, perhaps with a all-in-one VTX mounted on the top, so I don't get any signal loss from the Wi-Fi 5G FPV. Awesome. All right, let's see if I can do some FPV. So let's go ahead and bring it in. Now remember, this is 5G Wi-Fi, 802.11n Wi-Fi, not the B or the G. All right, but I do believe it encompasses the 802.11b and the G network as well, because it is in the N. I think the A is just 5G, but the N is like dual purpose. All right, so let's go ahead and check it out and see if I can do some FPV. Oh man, I noticed we already have a lag, and let's go ahead and push it up or push it forward. Yep, I still got video, and it had a little skip and a jump, and yeah, it has some skips and a jump here and there. So the Wi-Fi FPV is not the very best. It is a point and shoot type of Wi-Fi, and it is kind of bumpy as well. Yeah, I'm not able to do a very well FPV with this thing. Yep, I don't even know what it's pointing at. Okay, it's pointing away from me. There, that's what it's doing right now. All right, looking at the lake, yawing to the right a little bit. Oh man, let's go ahead and bring it in. I see some red light. Oh man, guess what? We are in the first phase of LVC. And at which time, if you are above 100 meters or away 300 meters, it will initiate a return to home. And check it out. The quadcopter's lights in the back is flashing in red, so indicating we are in LVC, and the remote control is blinking away too with that triple DDD repeatedly. All right, so I'm not going to go ahead and test out the first phase of return to home, because if I do go above 100 meters and it comes down, we might enter into phase 2. Right now on the remote control, it is showing 2 bars left in the battery power of the craft. When it goes into phase 2, it will show just 1 bar. And if you are within 100 meters in altitude and 300 meters in distance, then it will initiate a return to home. So even though you are in phase 1 of return to home, if you are within those parameters, the 100 meters and the 300 meters, you are still able to fly around like I am doing right now. All right, I'm going to go ahead and flick it over to GPS. So we have GPS position hold, so I can just kind of hover. All right, so now in phase 2, when it is going to enter it in a minute, once the battery bar goes into just 1 bar, then what's going to happen is it's going to initiate its return to home. All right, but if you are within 15 meters, then it will just land in its spot. It will not do that return to home. So I'm going to go ahead and push it out and test it out right around here. So let's just hover and cruise around right around there to test out the phase 2. So the phase 2 is almost same as the phase 1. It's just that the distance matters. All right, so it looks like I'm still in phase 2, and it is just lingering and hovering in its own spot right there. I'm still able to fly around. So once it goes into the single bar remaining on the battery life, then it will initiate the low voltage return to home. And the behavior should be the same as if it was returning to home in that initial phase when the battery level indicator is 2 bars, which we are in right now. So just cruising around. So that is just about, we are also measuring the length of the phase 1. I'm still flying around, enjoying the sights. So that is too bad the Wi-Fi FPV is not that great. And it is a 5G. Yeah, with all kinds of breakups. All right, check it out. We are in phase 2, indicated by 1 bar, and the quadcopter is returning home. So we are in phase 2, and the behavior should be the same as the phase 1, just a longer distance. All right, so it's hovering right on top of the home point, and it is making its way down rapidly at first, and it slows down, and it'll come to a hover right around that home altitude. Nice. And check it out, it is making its way down slowly. And it missed the home point by about a quadcopter and a half distance, but that is just amazing. All right, there you go, guys. The 1 kilo takeoff and all of the return to home demonstrations of the MJX Bugs 5W. Nice. All right, so there you have it, guys. My initial review and test flight of the brand new MJX B5W, the GPS quadcopter with the 1080p tilt adjustable Wi-Fi 5G FPV camera. It's just fantastic of a flyer. Flown it in GPS mode, and it is just as smooth as butter as non-GPS mode flight. Checked out the headless mode as well, and it worked just perfectly. And 1 key to take off and 1 key to land worked perfectly as well. And all of the return to home functions worked just awesome. The smart return to home, where I took back control by hitting that button again, just worked flawlessly. And the fail-safe return to home just worked fantastic. And I also regained the connection on my second fail-safe return to home and took over the controls. Just a fantastic GPS quadcopter. And also tested out the low voltage return to home phase 2. It should be the same thing as the phase 1, same kind of behavior, except it is a matter of distance, and it worked flawlessly as well. Just a fantastic quadcopter, which has very nice behavior, where it just comes down and hovers right at that home altitude for a couple of seconds, and it slowly descends, and it landed almost on the money all of the time. So just a fantastic GPS quadcopter, guys. The only problem that I had with this quadcopter is the fact that the video feed was breaking up, and it was even frozen in time at times, and it was giving me all kinds of pixelations on the video as well. Now, this quadcopter has 2 different channels that it transmits its Wi-Fi 5G FPV video, and you are able to flip between those 2 channels, and some of the channels do not work in some regions of the world. I'm going to go ahead and check out both of those channels, because they both should work in the US. So I'm going to go ahead and do that on my next video, as well as I'm going to check out some FPV flying on that one as well. And also I'm going to check out the maximum distance of the quadcopter as well. Once it goes beyond a certain distance, it will hit that return to home and fly back towards the home point, and I want to check that out on my next video. All right, we should have pretty good flight time on this one. I felt like it had pretty decent flight time with this proprietary battery, so we are good to go there. So there you have it, guys, my initial flight test and review of the MJX Bugs B5W. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you again on the next one.